Hey guys, welcome back to Urbanism Spinning. Today I will be discussing about a crucial topic which require our utmost attention. So today's topic is gender inclusivity in cities. Before going forward, first let us understand meaning of the term gender inclusivity. The term gender inclusive is defined as an approach that takes into consideration people of all genders and sexualities including race, ethnicity, income, class and age. Historically, if we see, cities have been planned for men and by men. So obviously cities work better for men than they do for women and people belonging to other genders. But when a city is designed for all people, then why do our cities lack sensitive approach towards gender inclusiveness? The cities are mostly designed for neutral male users. We all are aware about the fact that cities shape the citizens. Cities are responsible for the health and productivity of its people. With how much ease and security they are going to move, live and work in the city depends upon how well cities have been planned. And then well-planned cities reflect how happy are different communities living in the city with the sense of security among them. Awareness of how socially biased our cities are is not unknown to anyone. People might accept that or not, but deep beneath them, they already know the answer. Our planning of built environment is directly related to safe mobility, easy access, and hygienic conditions for all genders. The role of urban designers and planners is major when it comes to designing gender inclusive cities. Gender equality is one of the goals among 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Once we design gender inclusive cities, we unlock more social and economic advancement in cities. It is necessary to include women and other gender minorities in planning process. To improve the socio-economic development, designing equitable cities or gender inclusive cities is need of the hour. So basically, we need gender inclusive cities majorly because of three reasons: mobility, easy access, and health and hygiene. Number one comes mobility. Everyone in the cities have right to move safely, easily, and affordably. Citizens should be walking or running easily without any fear of violence. Number two, easy access. No one should feel hesitant or uncomfortable in any public space. Number three, health and hygiene. There should be gender inclusive toilets everywhere around the city. Toilets should be cleaned enough so that citizens do not attract any health disease from unclean toilets. Also, we need focus on health and hygiene so that people can live a healthy lifestyle free from health risks. Now, I will be sharing few inferences with you regarding what can be done when we are designing gender inclusive cities. The gender inclusive planning process should, number one, be participatory. It should include notions of the women and gender minorities for better understanding of needs, interests and security. Participation of disadvantaged groups should be encouraged more to know about their needs and honest feedbacks. Their participation can lead to better and innovative planning. Number two, the planning process should be comprehensive or universal. Number three, it should improve relationship between citizens and their city. Number four, it should act as an example for neighboring cities and countries. Number five, it should include safe transportation or specialized transportation system for women and other gender minorities. Number six, the planning process should thoughtfully include easy access with adequate lighting in public spaces. Number 7. Include sanitized toilets with proper segregation of toilets among different genders. Provision of toilets is necessary at both urban and building level scale. Number 8. Neighborhood planning concept should be encouraged. Neighborhood concept basically provides amenities at walking distance because of its mixed land use pattern. Number 9. It should include eyes on the street concept. As Jane Jacobs said, there must be eyes upon the street, eyes belonging to those we might call the natural proprietors of the street. The buildings on the street equipped to handle strangers and to ensure the safety of both residents and strangers must be oriented to the street. And last, number 10. Include specialized public spaces for gender minorities so that a sense of community is increased among them. So these were some journal key points which can be implemented while designing gender inclusive cities. If you have any inferences or ideas on how can we design such cities, do share with everyone in comment section. Every new idea gives path to new innovative solutions. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching video. Don't forget to share your valuable feedback in the comment section. If you like the video, do hit the like button and share it with your friends, family, architects, designers and planners. Also subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos. Bye guys, take care.